Hey everybody, it's Sean from St. Joe Robotics. What we're going to do today is introduce the new game called VexIQ Rise Above. So for any of the new students or the new coaches, this is just going to be kind of a general information video to help you get started on your journey here and learning about the new game and how it's played and some of the basic rules. So we're going to start by going to vexrobotics.com and you'll see this IQ button here. So the game we play is IQ. And if you go to competition, you'll see the 2020-21 VexIQ challenge game. So we click on it, it's going to give us the landing page for Rise Above. So this is the new game this year. And we'll get into some details about how the game is played and how the game is scored and some of the basic rules for it. So this page here is going to be a great resource. So anytime you have questions about the game, this is where you should go first to try to find the information. Most of it's going to be here. The game video, which was released at the end of the Virtual Worlds, is here. It's like a 2 or 3 minute video from Vex explaining the game. And then the game manual is going to have lots and lots and lots of information. So any of the questions that you generally have about the game, the rules, are going to be in this game manual. As we get deeper into the season, there'll also be an official Q&A section that they do to, when people ask questions, they'll give official answers for. But to start, you should start with this game manual to learn about the game and answer any of the questions that you may have about how it's played. So what I'm going to do is kind of briefly explain the game. So the game this year is played on a larger field than we're used to. It's now 8 foot wide by 6 foot deep. Actually, the field is only 4 foot deep. And this is basically an outsized version of tic-tac-toe. You can see the blue scoring zones. These are your goals. And there's going to be 27 risers, which are these assembled pieces. There's 9 of each color. There's 9 purple, 9 orange, and 9 teal. And the goal is for the robot to move the risers into these scoring zones, and depending on the orientation of those, they'll be worth different amounts of points. When we're doing a teamwork challenge, this is the way the field will be set up. You can see the position of the pieces are all spread out. I've looked at it pretty closely, and more or less they're evenly spread out. There's not a real obvious way of maybe where they should go. It'd be a great activity for the students. The yellow is the starting position, and the size of the robot when the game starts is the same as last year. It's 11 inches wide, which is the inside of these black lines, and it's 19 inches long, which is the inner part of the wall to the far side of the black line here. And they can only be 15 inches. And that's when the game starts. Different this year from last year is there's no expansion rule. So after the game has begun, your robot can essentially unfold and rise up higher, unlimited. So as long as it's within the starting dimensions, the 11 by 19 by 15 tall when the game starts, that's great. But if you have an arm that lifts up higher than the 15, that's completely fine, and there's no limit to how much it can expand. So in this game, you'll be moving the risers to the different scoring positions, and I'm going to scroll down here to what the different positions it could score in. So when you put a position, base riser in, the bottom, that's worth 1 point. And if you get one stacked up on top of it, that's also worth 1 point. So any riser scored in a cube, completely flat, it can't be up on the blue lip at all, but once it's sitting down in this vertical position, it's worth 1 point. If you complete a row, that means that you've basically made a tic-tac-toe. If you complete a row, everything in the row, from bottom level, middle level, top level, has to be the same color. If that's true, then you get a bonus 3 points. You can see this purple here interrupts the all one color, and it's no longer a completed row. So this up on top is worth 1, 2, 3 points individually, plus 3 bonus points. This is worth 6. This one here is not a completed row because of the purple piece, but it's still worth 1, 2, 3 points. You just don't get a bonus for the completed row because of the different color. Now the real high scoring elements are going to become from completed stacks. That's when you get 3 risers stacked up on top of each other. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3 here. The kicker is completed stacks must have completed rows as well. So you can see that this completed stack is in a completed row. You have an orange completed row and an orange stack. So this is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 3 bonus for the completed row, so we're up to 8. and this completed stack is worth 30. So this is a 38-point score. But you can see here the purple interrupts the completed row. And because a stack must have a completed row to complement it, not only does the row not count, but the stack also does not count because of this purple piece here. This is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 38, and this is 5. Same thing here. The teal piece has interrupted the fact that the row has a different color. It doesn't matter that it's not on the bottom. This bottom level of orange does not count as a completed row. So this teal not only interrupts the completed row, but it also interrupts the completed stack. So again, this level is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. And so that's the basics of the game. I'm going to leave the video there. One last note, I was talking about teamwork. When we're doing skills, which is driving by themselves or driving in an autonomous programming, the field's set up in a much easier configuration. As you can see, the oranges are now clustered around this row, the purples around this row, and the teal on this row. So they did give us a little bit of help in getting these things sorted. As you can see during the teamwork match, very jumbled. It's going to be a lot of chaos. So it's going to be a lot of fun this year, and let me know if you have any questions.